The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Main Event Podcast. Here again with another special edition, because they're all special. We're covering AEW Revolution 2023 today. I'm Jez. That's the belt collector, Dan.
The champion.
How's life?
Life is good, apart from the weather being stupidly cold.
Yeah, I'm not dealing very well with this cold, if I'm quite honest with you. It's like I was sat there watching AEW Revolution a little bit last night, and I had my daughter with me, and she was just sat there every couple of minutes, like grabbing my hands and like trying to like warm them up because I just couldn't get warm yesterday. And being the kind, compassionate little girl that she is, she was like, "Dad, your hands are freezing." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's just my hands. I can't get warm unless it's 25 degrees."
Where does she get nice and compassionate from?
I guess her mother. Like,
yeah,
probably
it's not from you.
No, I am a very kind, compassionate person. It's just
really,
yeah. You just got to do everything right. That's all. I have very high exacting standards.
Fair enough.
To earn that compassion. It's not compassion for everyone. It's compassion when deserved, and hopefully that compassion will be deserved for this pay-per-view. It wasn't as drawn out as some of the others have been, at least. So that's good.
This was a good length.
One check in the compassion column. I can give it some love there. So that we know exactly where we are. We came into this prediction-wise tied at 50. And I will say, off the bat, because obviously you don't know, you just send in your predictions and that's that. We don't differ very much in this in this event. So,
what a surprise!
Yeah, and I think that will come into play a little bit when we get to the end and we're doing our final rating. So let's kick things off, shall we?
Yes.
First match, and only one match on the 0 hour pre-show.
Yeah.
I found myself calling for at least one more because I couldn't really be bothered to listen to RJ City anymore. Like, I don't rate that guy at all. I should have his job.
Let's get that out there. Jez wanted another match on an AEW pay-per-view.
That's true. Yeah, that is on record now.
Yeah.
But the one we did have was Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers taking on Ari Daivari and the Varsity Athletes. I don't know if they were just calling that whole thing the Varsity Athletes by the end.
Yeah, they seem to be.
Yeah, so, okay. Fine. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I have a pro and a con related to the Varsity Athletes presentation.
Go on, then.
I enjoyed the entrance because spotlights are cool. I love a good spotlight, and then
a good spotlight.
Come out there, strike a pose, get off to the side, let someone else come out and do their thing, and blah blah blah. That was good.
Yeah.
But also, why are they called the Varsity Athletes? First of all, in terms of being down with the kids and all that, they're well old, and also they already have the Varsity Blondes in the company. Why have we got another varsity name? It's too close.
Yeah.
So
I didn't think of that.
I feel like that name needs work. I like them as a team. I feel like that works quite well, and I really enjoyed the announcement by Smart Mark Sterling. About time he did something good. So excellent. But yeah, let's reconfigure that a little bit, I think, so that we can push it to the next level.
There you go.
What did you like about this match, if anything?
So I liked the brawling start. Just going for it. Why not? Briscoe and Fenix working together quite well. They worked quite well together. And also sticking on Fenix, I'm always amazed by this, but Fenix's balance.
Yeah, it is incredible. I
It,
think he probably
it's
does have the best
yeah,
balance, maybe in all of wrestling, not just
yeah.
in AEW.
It's just that's defying physics what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it
It's
doesn't
like,
matter what
whoa.
position his feet are in on the top rope, he can just
Yeah,
float there like it's nothing. Yeah, it's very impressive.
yeah, yeah. And Mark Briscoe,
Yeah,
just
Mark
going for it.
Briscoe is one
Just
of
going for it.
my major pros. I like that they have him now doing things. Obviously, since the passing of his brother, they have him in
Yeah,
doing singles work. I like
yeah,
that, and I
mm,
feel like it. There's a wave of momentum that they should be
mm,
capitalizing on here,
mm,
and
mm,
they've got a situation to resolve in terms of the tag team titles. Obviously,
mm,
they've
mm,
been delicate about that with the passing of Jay Briscoe, but
mm.
they do need to move on those tag team titles or
Yeah,
retire those titles and do some new ones. They
yeah,
just that whole thing needs to be addressed. What
yeah,
I would suggest as a
mm,
way to move this along, but also
yeah,
keep paying tribute to Jay Briscoe and also
yeah,
do great television because they
yeah,
are building towards a pay-per-view in Ring of
mm,
Honor. Mark Briscoe is offered the opportunity to trade in the
mm.
tag team championships for a shot at the Ring of Honor World Championship. And the main
That
event
would
of
be good.
Supercard of Honor is Claudio Castagnoli, Mark Briscoe, AEW World Championship. And Mark Briscoe wins it and rides off into
Yeah,
the sunset. A great way to start WrestleMania weekend because I think that
yeah,
is the first real event that we're gonna have that weekend.
yeah.
So
I think
yeah,
that'd be a great idea.
you
Probably
know,
won't happen that way, but
no, because obviously there's a pecking order, and I don't
yeah.
know who is going to get the world title match
I,
right now.
I don't know either. They haven't really said anything, have they?
No, so Tony, come on, let's do things right here. Mark Briscoe winning the world championship
Yeah,
in celebration of his brother, mere weeks after he passed away, is a great
yeah,
way to pay tribute. And I think Mark Briscoe deserves it, considering all the rigmarole that he had to go through to actually get back on television after his brother died, and how
yeah,
poorly he was treated by Warner Brothers Discovery. So I think there's some making up
yeah,
to be done there as
yeah.
well. So that would be my suggestion.
There you go. Are you listening?
Of course he is. Me and Tony are buds.
Yeah, I'll come
Mm,
back to you on that one.
well,
He hugs you a lot, does he?
he hugs everyone, doesn't he? Like I wouldn't say the hug is a mark of our friendship because he hugs everyone, but it does give me that warm, fuzzy feeling that
Yeah.
it should. That's mostly just his hair, though. Back to the match. The weird, awesome double team move that the Lucha Brothers did that I
Yeah.
can't even really describe.
No.
That was a pro. I love that.
Yeah.
It was like one was delivering a vertebraker while
Mhm.
also kind of doing a pedigree or a one-winged
Yeah.
angel or an underhook
Yeah.
something. And I don't even know how they got into that position. It was
Yeah.
a whole thing. I
Yeah.
can't describe it, but it was
Yeah.
awesome,
Yeah.
basically.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
And then my only con, other than the whole varsity business, is the commentators saying that Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers make a good trio, and that they should go for the trios titles. I'm like, okay,
No.
yeah, yes, they do make a good trio, but we've already discussed what Mark Briscoe should be doing, and also
Yeah.
the Lucha Brothers already have a trio. It's called Death
Yeah.
Triangle, and it
Yeah.
is way better than this. With all respect to Mark Briscoe, because
Yeah.
they did work well together, but
Yeah.
Death Triangle are awesome in their own right, and they couldn't beat the Elite for the
Yeah.
belts. So, what hope does
Yeah.
this random pairing of some, luchadors and a chicken farmer,
Yeah.
what hope do they have?
What name could you give that?
Um, um, Los Polos Hermanos. No, I think that's already from Breaking Bad, isn't it? But hey, that's like the Chicken Brothers,
Yeah.
So it's kind of, chicken and brothers, like Los Polos Hermanos. There you go.
There
Why
you
not?
go. Why not?
Yeah. All we need then is Walter White to to kill the owner. I can't remember what happened in Breaking Bad. It's been years since I watched it. Anyway, predictions.
Yes.
Not to say that this was predictable, but it was. And we both went for the team of the Lucha Brothers and Mark Briscoe.
Of
which
course.
means that we start this show the way we always like to start this show. And to our credit, very often start this show.
Yeah.
Very much both as the ones.
You're not doing your J one.
I'm bringing the regular one back at the moment.
Bring the regular one.
Yeah, out of
proper
protest for what's going on with the bloodline at the moment. Like, can't do it. I'm getting very upset. That's a topic for another podcast, but yeah, I'm not happy. Next match, opening match on the Revolution pay-per-view. Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. I don't know how to feel about Ricky Starks. And my indifference / ambiguity was not improved by his performance at the press conference. I don't know if you watched the press conference, probably
I
not.
didn't watch the press conference.
No. He was just... You know that promo he did a few weeks ago with MJF and everybody was raving about it?
Yes.
And we were but like, it was fine.
Yeah.
I feel like that is just Ricky Starks all over. Everyone is raving about him, and it's just, yeah, it was fine. Like,
you're fine.
Like he's being hyped as, you know, the second coming of The Rock, and like that he's, you know, the next big thing. And I'm like, no, he's got a long way to go. A long way to go.
No.
Yeah. And to learn that this was his first win on pay-per-view, which was kind of funny.
Yeah. That is quite funny.
And the only pro I have in this match, I don't know if you have any more. I felt like this match was pretty meh. I liked the counter of the Judas effect, the putting the arm up to block it.
Yeah.
I thought that was excellent. That was, you know...
if you think about it, it's common sense.
It is, really, but, you know, nobody's done it before. Like, they might try and go like that and put their hands in front of their face, but to actually, like, in a kind of martial arts kind of way, you know, block it with your forearm, which is a much more solid, immovable part of your body than your hands. I just felt like it worked.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho, conversely, while we talk about stats, has never won at Revolution. He is 0-4 at AEW Revolution. He's competed at all 4 of them, and he has lost every single time.
Unlucky Chrissy.
Yeah. Usually to, you know, young opponents on the rise that they then later give up on. I say young. Last year it was Eddie Kingston. But they were trying to push him, and yeah, that went well.
The less we talk about Eddie Kingston, the better.
Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on with him in AEW right now. I guess he's being full-time ROH. Whatever, bro. You quit. That suits me down to the ground.
Yeah.
The less I have to see of you on television, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not much to say about this match. Have you got anything to
add? That the ref seemed to be counting rather slowly. That's what I had, really.
It started the trend of the refs being freaking terrible in this entire event, really. They were shocking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was like in this, she was going, 1, 2, kick out, 3.
Was it Audrey Edwards?
Yes.
Yeah, she's crap anyway, so I'd like to say...
It can be quite funny at times.
I don't... It doesn't amuse me. Her humour is based on the fact that she's a terrible referee and she's out of position, and then people get annoyed with her for being out of position.
It's funny that she stunned someone, didn't she? Who was it she stunned? Stunned somebody.
She did, yeah. I'm like, great.
After...
That's professional, isn't it?
Like a month after the female ref stunned Sammy at a live event in WWE. It's like... Yeah, you're kind of copying here, guys.
Yeah. And let me say, female officiating in WWE, 100 times better than female officiating in AEW. But then again, I don't know how I'm singing the praises of WWE officiating, but it's way better.
It is.
Way better. And we'll get to that further as this event continues. My other con is that this was an obvious winner, and that takes me to predictions. We both went with Ricky Starks for the win, which takes us to a 2 each.
Thank you.
Next up, the extremely confusing Final Burial match.
The Buried Alive match. Sort of. Or it's a casket Buried Alive match.
Yeah.
It's basically, let's copy WWE again.
We are angling towards my issue with this. It was Christian Cage against Jack Perry, in case you did not know that.
You didn't watch it.
Yeah. Why was this a casket match / Buried Alive match / any of this?
I don't know, and I want it to end.
I think it is going to end now, because
I flipping hope so.
Christian needs to do something else. Between the injuries he's had, this has been going on for like a year and a half now, hasn't it? It's been a long old time.
It's been my whole life.
Well, you are a young pup. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a random as hell stipulation for a stipulation's sake, I think. Like, I get that the shovel had become a big part of the rivalry.
Yeah.
And, okay, yes, you use shovels to dig things up and bury them.
Dirt and all that lava.
I get that. But it's a big leap then to go into a casket match for two people who have nothing to do with caskets or any of that kind of death mysticism.
Yeah.
Like, I thought when they advertised it as the final burial, I thought it was like metaphorical, as in like Christian Cage is going to bury Jack Perry and like you beat him, and then Jack Perry won't get his singles run with the title that he's after. Like, wrestling sense bury.
Yeah.
Not literally bury, because why?
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Being as we're being negative, I'll continue with the cons.
Go.
Again, with the mum and the sister at ringside.
Yeah.
Like, can't you just
Why do they need to be there?
Watch a match on television, will you? Like,
why?
I don't want to see your face anymore.
No.
Like, it's not like Sami Zayn's wife. She was awesome. She was proper into it. Like, Jungle Boy's mum just all the time was like, yeah, F you, yeah. I'm like,
Hey, I admit Christian Cage was trying to I think he was trying to get them to do something.
Yeah.
Because he was like shouting verbal abuse at them all the time.
And that's fine. So when your son is in peril and is being systematically targeted and has been systematically targeted for the last year by this guy, maybe try and show a bit more emotion than like, you can't do this. Just stay at home and get off my screen. I don't need you there. Didn't add anything to the match. In fact, it took away from the match for me. So yeah.
Some feminist is probably going to comment on the fact that you said a woman should stay at home. I
mean, this woman literally should stay at home. It's not like I'm asking her to do something that she hasn't not done the rest of the time. They've been at literally every match.
Yeah.
Bored, go away. Or sit further back. Just stop being on television.
Is it because Jack Perry is so young he can't drive himself anywhere, so his mum's got to drive him there?
Well, he doesn't wear shoes, does he? So, no, he does wear boots, but I don't think he drives anywhere. I think he swings in on vines and stuff. That's the way that works.
Yeah.
Back to the cons. Christian passed out way too quickly from the STF.
Yeah.
It was just like, and the STF's on and Christian is out. I'm like, maybe he's playing possum. Maybe this is a thing. And like, nope, he was. No. They just want us to believe that he passed out from the STF in a mere matter of moments. Yeah.
That was one of mine, yeah.
Not like he took that a bunch of times from like John Cena back in the day or anything. No. And then conversely, while that was terrible, the concerto, I think, was a little too good.
Yeah.
I think that I think that hit for real. Like, you could tell from Christian's reaction that he had genuinely just been clocked full out in the head with a chair. Yeah. And that is not good. Not good for anyone, let alone, Christian, who's been injured all the time, basically, for the last 2 years.
Yes.
No. It kind of suggests that Jungle Boy's not really ready for that kind of spot.
No, that level of stuff, is he?
If you can't protect your opponent. And I could be wrong. Maybe it was, millimeter perfect, and it just looked like he actually hit him on the head because that was the design. But I don't think so. I think that was a major seeing birds flying around the head moment for Christian, and I didn't like that.
Talking about hitting heads. Mm-hmm. Did you see Jack Perry's head bounce off the casket?
Yeah. He does that all the time. Like he doesn't hold back at all. So fair play to him. He does give as good as he gets.
Yeah.
When he was thrown into the steps, every time he's thrown into the steps, not just in this match, it does look like he deliberately headbutts the steps at full speed. I'm like, okay, fine. You're not going to last very long in this business.
No, but, he's got no brain cells left.
Yeah. He's got a lot of hair. Maybe that helps a little bit.
Yeah, it's
cushions the blow. But, while we're on that topic, don't do a Wardlow, Jungle Boy. Do not cut your hair. Wardlow looks stupid with short hair. So
yes, he does.
Okay, it wasn't all bad. I do have some pros. Do you have anything that you like about this match, first of all?
I liked Christian Cage just going, nah, and just walking away half the time.
Yep.
Just going, first, I'll go through the audience. Okay, that's not working. I'll go up the ramp. Oh dear, I'm going near the casket.
Yeah.
That bit, what was it? Jack Perry's forward flip off a stage. That was well executed.
Yeah.
Well done. I don't know if it's a pro or a con, but the way the casket drops at the end.
I've got that as a pro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was supposed to happen, and I just chalked it up as, hey, that was different. At least they gave us something new in this. Whatever this was.
Perry slammed the lid. Boom! Go. There goes the casket. Gone.
Yeah. That had to hurt. I mean, I know a casket is very cushioned inside, but that had to be a bit of a shock to the system to just be like, boom, boom, just drop straight down.
Yeah.
Probably a change your underwear moment. But yeah. No, that I've got that as a pro. It could probably be a con as well. I don't really know.
Yeah. Apart from that.
Yeah. In addition to that, the spot where Christian was standing on Jack Perry's hair and just pulling him up, that was really good.
Yeah.
Christian always does a really good job of being the chicken bleep heel.
Yeah.
And it was at another level during this match, I think. And then, in a similar vein, literally throwing dirt in the eyes of Jack Perry.
Yeah.
To
Why
escape.
not?
Yeah. Doesn't happen very much in these kind of buried alive-y type matches.
No.
So, why not?
It's a good idea.
It was a good idea, and I enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah.
So, all in all, it was good and bad in equal measure, I would say.
Yeah.
Ranging from why to, okay, that was neat. And what's also neat is that we both went for Jack Perry for the win. Takes us to an even 3. I'll go V1. You'll go
3D.
3D. Okay. There we go. Next up. Going well so far. Trios title. House of Black versus the Elite. Match of the night.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think a lot of people are saying the same thing. Not that they weren't contenders throughout the rest of the card, but this was the match of the night for me.
Yes, it was for me as well.
My first pro is a long-standing gripe that has been done correctly. Do you know what it is?
No, go for it.
They ironed the sheet.
Oh, yes. Oh yeah. They actually had an iron sheet. Carmella.
They ironed the sheet. And it's only a small detail, but as we have discussed many a time, not for a while now, because it's been a while since Carmella had her sheet. Somebody had another sheet a few months ago. Can't remember who it was, and they didn't iron that one either. And I was upset about it. I'm very upset when they don't iron things in professional wrestling, apparently. But yeah, they ironed the sheet. I didn't even know it was a sheet at first.
I didn't either. I thought it was a screen.
Yeah, and then it dropped. I'm like, oh, that was a sheet. I got to go back. Yep, perfect ironing. One crease at one point, but that's fine. You know, it's not going to be perfect. It's still got to be hung and moved and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that I didn't know it was a sheet until the moment it dropped shows to me that somebody went down to Target, bought an iron, and actually did something that anybody can do and that a multi-million company should be able to do. Thank you very much, WWE. What the hell were you doing with Carmella's sheet? Yeah. So yeah, the match could do no wrong after that, as far as I was concerned.
No.
Once you iron a sheet, you've got me.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
What did you like about it?
I liked the beginning with Kenny Omega and Buddy Matthews.
Me too.
I thought that was quite interesting. Those two kind of mixing it up.
And when they were talking about how people have compared Buddy Matthews to Kenny Omega, I'm like, well, I've never heard that before.
No.
But I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it as well.
Especially since Buddy Matthews, you know, kind of bulked up and got super swole, but kept his movement. Like, I can see that. And it basically him and Malachi Black. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I think they're being wasted in this kind of stable. We, you know, even back to 205 Live when they brought, you know, Buddy Matthews, Buddy Murphy, whatever you want to call him, into 205 Live, and they just had incredible matches. He and Cedric Alexander and he and Mustafa Ali, just incredible stuff. And give this guy a singles run of some kind. Not now, obviously. They've won the trios titles, but after that, get him out of the House of Black. As cool as that is, I love the House of Black, but get this guy a singles run. Could be the first Australian world champion. Have we had an Australian world champion? Don't think we have.
I don't think we have.
No. So that would be
neat.
We
haven't, I don't think.
Yeah. But that's on my list as well. Fast, technical, awesome. Great start.
Yep.
Continue.
Absolutely. I liked how the Young Bucks were scared of Brody King.
Yeah, rightfully so. He's a giant man.
Great. Sticking with King, he's just a beast. Just built like a outhouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Julia Hart. Yeah. Just Julia Hart.
I've got more specific than that. Her taking the V trigger.
Oh yeah, I've got that as well, but just Julia Hart.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Just Julia Hart. All round, brilliant. I've only got one negative, really.
I've got two, but one is systematic of AEW in general. I'll get to that in a minute. Just to add a few more pros, because there was a lot to like in this match.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega getting absolutely owned by Malachi Black.
Yes.
And then just acknowledging that fact by just sitting there and clapping Malachi Black for just kicking his ass. I'm like, okay, kudos. You don't see that very often. And to give the credit where it's due, I liked that. And then later in the match, Kenny Omega just folding, crumpling after receiving the black mass. Like most people just do that kind of cartoon fall backwards thing.
Yeah.
Like Kenny Omega just kind of like lost his head for a bit and then just kind of just went straight down in a heap. And I thought that was really well sold.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega's one of the kings of selling, isn't he? So
it's
not surprising. And then finally, Buddy Matthews intercepting the Meltzer driver with a knee. I thought that was very well executed. And there was a lot of, and it brings me to my con, there was a lot of non-administration of the rules.
Yeah.
As always in these trios matches. The ref just let everyone in the ring, and it descended into chaos at points. And okay, fine. It didn't necessarily detract from the match, but it detracted from the realism of it all. And it would have been better if you'd have at least been like, "Hey, get out! Just do something."
Yeah.
Even if you're unsuccessful, at least make it look like you're doing your job.
Yeah.
And I was unhappy with the number of broken up pinfalls.
Yeah.
There were too many for me. But overall, it didn't detract from the match. Any other negs from you?
Yeah.
Okay.
One that I always have a moan about with the Elite. Too many super kicks. Stop using so many goddamn super kicks.
I liked it when they worked up to all three of them super kicking Brody King.
Yeah, that's fine.
You get one super kick because that'll do the job. You get one super kick because that'll do the job. And then we'll do 3 on Brody King because he's a beast. Okay, cool. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that works. But then it's when they just do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, do the Young Bucks know any other moves?
I don't think you're going to ever be happy with a Young Bucks match, really. I don't think that's going to change. I think the super kick party at this stage is here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere. Yeah. Well, this is the first time that we differ in predictions.
Oh, great.
I went for the House of Black. House of Black for the win. That takes me to 4 and leaves you on your 3.
I was very umming and ahhing on who was going to win this match.
Yeah.
I was very I think it could have gone both ways, either way.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of the story, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes with like visa issues and stuff. But that's on both sides. You know, they've had problems with Buddy Matthews' visa. They've had problems with Kenny Omega's visa. So there's no right answer in terms of how do we put the titles on a trio that are definitely always going to be available for television. So, I just don't know how the House of Black would have recovered from taking another loss, because they've only just come back. They've been on a tear. So for them to just lose to the Elite would have really killed their momentum. So
the thing that I was thinking is,
that they would just kill their momentum.
Yeah, it's the Elite. That's what they do, and they are the golden child of AEW. The Trios Championships were effectively made for them. So I just...
But are they the golden child? That's the question,
Yeah.
And I know we're basing it on things like they're still in the company and CM Punk is not, but isn't he? Isn't he in the company? Are we sure?
All right, Jez.
Is he just injured still? Are we going to get CM Punk back? I think we will.
You're getting a bit too excited here.
No, I think it's coming. And, later on in the main event, as MJF is shouting into the camera that he is the best in the world, I'm like, there it is.
Yeah.
That's a feud that is, oven ready, as they say. CM Punk can come in and take an L to MJF. Perfect. Easy.
Yeah, there you go.
Easy. CM Punk won the last one. It's only fair.
Yeah.
Moving on. Women's World Championship. Saraya versus Ruby Soho versus Jamie Hayter in Jez's favourite triple threat match.
Because it was a triple threat match? Kick it off.
Do you know, I didn't hate it.
Whoa.
There were a lot of moments where all three of them were in the ring. There were some good moments of all three in the ring. That was cool. Yeah. I have 5 pros, that was one of them, and 1 con.
Blimey.
My only con really was that it was predictable.
Yeah.
I'll get it out of the way. We both went Jamie Hayter, so notched up a point each, 5 to me, 4 to you.
Yeah.
But other than that, it did what it needed to do, really. The whole point of it was to get the women on television, because otherwise there wouldn't have been a women's match on this card. To give Saraya a pay-per-view match and continue her run.
Yeah.
I liked Ruby Soho's drop kick out of the ring, even though it looked like she almost killed herself. That was pretty good. I liked the women fighting through the crowd.
Yeah.
You don't get to see that very much.
No.
Men go and fight in the crowd all the time. Women, not so much. I think it's only, in my memory, it's only really happened with like Becky Lynch and Charlotte, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe Bailey and someone, but it doesn't happen often. And
No,
certainly not in AEW. So that was cool. I like that they've pretty much ditched Rebel. She's not about anymore. It's just Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker. That works for me.
Fine.
Yeah, Rebel was not doing anything for that. So happy trails. See you later.
Yeah.
Toni Storm destroying a camera.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to use it as a weapon. No, she just wanted to smash a camera.
Just smash something up.
Yeah. You go, Tony. You go for it.
You go, girl.
You do whatever you like. I will not stand in your way. And the Ruby Soho heel turn at the end. Yeah, I like that as well. So all in all, it wasn't a match of the year candidate, but
no,
it did what it needed to, and it was enjoyable.
It was all right.
Any opinions, dissenting or otherwise?
You've summed it up beautifully.
Good. I like to do that. And as we've already done the predictions, we can move on to the next one.
Yes. Here we go.
Texas Death Match. Well, that was the name of the match. It wasn't the Texas Death Match, but that's what they called it. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. You better start this one, because when I start talking, I might not stop.
Texas Death Match.
It was not.
Can we iterate what is actually in a Texas Death Match?
Yeah, would you like me to?
Yes, let's iterate what's actually in a Texas Death Match.
Okay, so a genuine Texas Death Match, Dan. What happens is there's no disqualification. That's all fine. You must pin your opponent.
Yes.
At which point then it's kind of like a normal match meets a last man standing match with weapons.
Yeah.
You pin your opponent, and then at that point you start a 10 count. And if your opponent cannot reach that count of 10, then you win the match. It's kind of like it's not good enough to beat them once. You've got to beat them on multiple fronts, and you've got to really destroy them with the weapons or otherwise to get that done. Yeah. That's a Texas Death Match.
Yeah. And isn't there, I don't know, I could be wrong, like normally more stuff, like barbed wire around the ropes, all that
often.
Palaver.
I mean, it's not integral, but in the best examples of Texas Death Matches, including the one that we covered in Impact Wrestling last year with Mickey James, very good example of a Texas Death Match. Yes, that did have, barbed wire wrapping and things. Yeah.
It's when they came out and I was like, okay, we've got a Texas Death Match. Came to the ring, I was like, where's all the stuff? There's like a few boards with barbed wire around the edge, and that's about it.
They basically wanted to call it a Texas Death Match because Hangman Adam Page is a cowboy. And where do cowboys come from, Dan? Texas, obviously. Don't get cowboys in any other parts of America, and especially not in Virginia, where Adam Page is actually from. No. So it's got to be Texas Death Match.
It's got to be Texas. This was not a death match. Can I also say one thing? Can we have one match where Jon Moxley does not bleed?
That's one of my cons. As if Jon Moxley needed an excuse to bleed. You
don't have to do much.
We'd really like Jon Moxley to bleed in this match. What stipulation can we give it? I don't know. Stand still and do nothing match? Yeah, that'll do it. That'll definitely make him bleed.
A gust of wind match.
Yeah. Honestly.
Just why?
There's so
why?
How
has he
got?
As
well.
How has he got any blood left in his body?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Keep going. I mean, we've established that this wasn't the match that it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I had parts of it that I enjoyed. Just a few little bits. I liked Paige attacking Moxley before anything actually happened. That was quite good. Fork. Why not? That's all I got to say about it is why not.
I can give you some reasons, but carry on.
Yeah, apart from that, there's not a lot much. I've got a big con.
Yeah.
Which was, why the hell wasn't the ref counting?
Yes.
Like, there was a moment when Paige was just lying on the ground and Moxie was like, I think it was when he was setting up the chairs and all that. And Paige was just lying there and the ref was just kind of looking at Paige just like, you alright?
Mm.
He's setting up something. I feel like I should be doing something now.
I'd hate to bring a premature end to this match just because you're actually dead when he's clearly doing a thing. So let's just see what he does. We'll worry about the end of the match later.
Yeah.
More stellar refereeing from the AEW officiating crew. Yeah.
Yeah. They need to go to refereeing school.
I'm gonna quickly blast through my pros before.
Okay, go on then.
I liked the Boston Crab on the barbed wire chair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, considering you in your weird rules, you said that it had to be won by submission or knockout to actually, add a level of intensity to your submission is pretty good, right? Great.
Yeah.
I like the stomp on the brick.
Yeah.
Very, very Seth Rollinsy there.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that Moxley was beaten at his own game, really.
Yeah.
I think Adam Page did need to win this, and I like that happened in an extreme match.
Yeah.
That was cool. But I did not like this match.
I wasn't a fan of it.
Flat out didn't like it. And I know especially you like the more kind of hardcore matches, but there was no real story to this match.
No.
At all. We had the build up to it, and there was a good story leading to that, the knockouts and all that, fine. But the match itself had no real story, and it was just designed for shock value. It was, what can we do to make sections of the crowd look away? What can we do to make sections of the crowd salivate at the fact that there's blood spewing everywhere?
Yeah.
And it was just shock value instead of a good match. It went from one spot to the other without any coherency. It's just, we'll go out there and we'll bleed a bit. I'll stab you with something stupid like a fork, and then we'll just do a bit more bleeding, and then we'll throw each other into some barbed wire. We won't react immediately when we're thrown into barbed wire, by the way. We'll just lay in it, and then we'll remember that barbed wire is supposed to hurt. And then we'll react to it. Good job, John Moxley.
Yeah.
I wanted to look away, and not because I was, disgusted
Cringing
by the sight of blood or any of that kind of thing that they were going for. Just, I was bored.
Yeah.
This was not a good match, and I'm sure many people disagree with me, and that's fine. You're entitled to your wrong opinion. This was a terrible match.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Jez will happily tell you why you're wrong.
At length.
Yeah.
I can write essays on the subject.
Please don't.
They'll be, very grammatically correct too. Unlike my speaking, obviously. Moving on. Predictions. We both went for Adam Page.
Of course.
Another slightly predictable one. Takes me to 6 and brings you to 5.
5 time.
Yeah, I didn't want to do the 5 time myself in the last one because I shake my head around. It gives me a bit of a concussion. Next, TNT title. The Hairless Wardlow versus Samoa Joe.
The Hairless Wardlow.
I feel like just in cutting his hair, Wardlow has gone from like looking like a formidable modern samurai beast to just another dude with a dad haircut.
To a Brian Cage lookalike.
He's just got my hair, like, and I don't look hard. I've got to be honest.
He's got your hair and he's got your physique, Jeremy.
I wouldn't go that far. He's still pretty built. Like, I don't think he had, a full English breakfast this morning like I did with, fried bread dripping in fat. But I will take your compliment. This was a kind of nothing match for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I was very meh.
Yeah.
Meh. This is very much the meh of the night, I think.
Yeah, I think they tried to think, right, what will bring people down and calm them back down a little bit after the death match. Like, how do we top being stabbed with a fork was the question in the room, and the answer was Wardlow and Samoa Joe. Which is an insult to them, frankly. But it's not like they did anything to wow us and overcome that stereotype. I liked Powerhouse Hobbs watching on, always building the next story.
Powerhouse.
And they furthered that in the press conference as well when Powerhouse Hobbs infiltrated the press to ask Wardlow a question and deliver the brass ring, and dump it on the desk in front of Wardlow.
That's quite funny.
That was quite nice. I liked Samoa Joe targeting the knee.
Mm-hmm.
I like targeting of body parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a well loud plane. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I could hear that. I was about to say, loud. What is that noise?
Yeah. Can not usually hear anything in this room apart from, barking dogs and stuff, but that was well loud. Anyway, that was more interesting than the Wardlow Samoa Joe match.
Yes.
Did you like anything about it?
Not particularly. It was just a match.
Yeah, and the end, my only con really, because nothing was particularly offensive about it apart from this.
Mm-hmm.
The ending was just anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Like, Samoa Joe just passed out of nowhere. There was no build to it. Like, he hadn't been targeting the head, or he didn't even get his stuff in, really. Like, no Powerbomb Symphony, no major signature moves for Wardlow. It was just the match is happening. Oh, Samoa Joe's passed out, and it's over. Cool.
Yeah. Well, when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, we're going to do the arm thing, and he's going to stop it on the third attempt. As you do.
Yeah.
As what happens, and then he didn't. I was like, oh, right. I mean,
it adds some realism, I suppose, but
yeah,
also it wasn't very good.
No.
Predictions. We both went for Wardlow.
Of course.
So that takes me to a 7. And takes you to 6. That's one thing I do like about AEW. We don't often get to come up to these high numbers when we're when we're doing other events. Like, how many matches did Elimination Chamber have in total? Like 5?
5.
Yeah, and a law of averages, we're going to get 1 wrong. We didn't even get to 5. So yeah. Next up, Tag Team Championship. The Guns, the Acclaimed, the Lethal, the Jarrett, and the Orangehausen.
Yeah.
Not that they wanted to be called that. That was the only thing I liked about the pre-show, was the Danhausen and Orange Cassidy interview backstage. And it was like, right, Orange Cassidy, Danhausen, collectively, what's your team name? What are you known as? And he was like, well, he's Orange Cassidy, I'm Danhausen, so we are known as Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. And then he kind of like paused for applause and just waited for the adulation of that genius name.
Yeah.
RJ City needed to sell that more and just be like,
yeah. Oh, dear.
Like Picard head rub, like meme. That's what he needed to do in that moment. But yeah, I've talked a lot of this show. What did you like or dislike about this match?
I was very meh on this match. There wasn't really much I liked and disliked. It was just meh.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've got 3 pros and 3 cons.
Okay.
what would you like first?
Let's start with the cons.
Okay. Story of the night. Too many non-legal people in the ring. Referee not doing his job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I say his. I can't remember if it was
I can't
male
remember.
or female. Just the referee of unspecified gender being crap once again.
Yes.
Satnav. I feel like he'd taken a wrong turning. I don't know why he ended up in the ring. That was certainly not his destination. Not what I wanted to see.
How many Satnav jokes could you guess in there, wasn't it?
I'd like to say I planned them in advance, but they all, other than writing Satnav in my notes, they all just came to me as I was talking. Yeah.
Taking a wrong turning in the wrong destination.
And I didn't like that Orangehausen were clearly only added to this match to take the L.
Yeah.
That was their only purpose. Conversely, I did like that Danhausen actually did some wrestling.
Yeah.
He was actually doing stuff in this match. And okay, great. I've been waiting to see what the hype is about Danhausen. And he didn't put on a 5-star performance, but at least he did moves. I'm like, oh, you can actually do stuff, can you? Great. Yeah. I'm fed up of people going, what? When I go, what's the hype with Danhausen? It's like, oh, you got to go and watch this, that, this, and this. I'm like, no, I'd prefer he showed me what he can do now. Today.
Yeah.
In this company he's been in for a year and hasn't really done anything other than point at people. And be funny. He's funny.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. But plenty of people are funny. I'm funny. I'm not a wrestler.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not on AEW every week just being funny. So show me something. And he did. So fair play there. I liked the 4-way strut that the Guns, Lethal and Jarrett did before scissoring in the middle. That was cool.
Yeah.
And I liked FTR.
Yes, there was FTR
arriving. That was good. But then it made me reflect that this probably should have just been the Guns versus FTR in the first place. That's what we should have had for the last month, building towards FTR and the Guns instead of that.
And he got busted open as well, didn't
Dax Harwood.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Just very easily.
Yeah, I don't know what caused that. It seemed like he was busted open before that he'd even entered the ring, so I don't know whether he punched himself on the ramp or what.
A bit like John Moxley.
Clearly, yeah. Gust of wind hit him the wrong way, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
It was meh, but there were some goods and some bads.
Yeah.
Of equal measure.
Yeah.
We both went for the Guns.
Surprise, surprise.
Takes me, I'm going to do this way, to 8. Takes you to 7. There you go.
I've got a 5-time thank you.
Oh my God. Can you imagine a Booker T versus Chad Gable promo? That would be awful, frankly. Right. Main event. Strap in, because this was a long match, and therefore
long match.
There's a lot to talk about in it. So, if you're listening to this, maybe pause, go get a drink, come back.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah.
MJF versus Bryan Danielson. I have got, trying to count quickly, I've got at least 10 pros.
Go for it.
Minimum. And I've got 3 cons.
Okay.
So
Run them down.
I guess I like this match. Just on a law of statistics, I think I like this match. Right. MJF taking a drink and tossing it on a kid.
Yes.
And then learning that kid was not a plant. He literally just threw a drink on a kid.
Yeah.
MJF. You
well done, MJF.
I love it so much. Tony Khan obviously went groveling to that parent.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Yeah. So really good start.
Yeah.
MJF rising to Bryan Danielson's technical game.
Yeah.
And MJF went on about it in the press conference, and he was absolutely right. People forget, and I don't know how they forget. They go through a cycle, and he described this in the press conference. They go through a cycle of, people see an MJF promo, and it's obviously spectacular. And then they go, yeah, well, he hasn't got it in the ring, though, has he? And it's like, well, yeah. Have you not seen the matches he's done? Like, from all the way back to the spectacular Cody Rhodes match he had years ago.
Yeah.
And it is every time he comes out and cuts an incredible promo, people just forget the body of work that he's done in the ring and then say, yeah, but he's just a good promo. He can't wrestle. No, he can. He
does quite a few things.
He gave absolutely everything that Bryan Danielson gave him and gave it back again. Both in terms of technical wrestling and submission wrestling and brawling, everything. He rose to that occasion. And that's a major pro for me. So that was 2. 3, the little mini Shawn Michaels tribute that they both did. Yeah. So Bryan Danielson did the skinning of the cat, Royal Rumble 95 style. Yeah. And then MJF hit him with the Sweet Chin music and then did a Shawn Michaels pose in the ring.
Yeah.
That was a tribute by both of them. You can't convince me otherwise.
No.
4, at very big risk of losing count here. I can't really count this high. Back and forth pinfall attempts.
Yeah.
We talk about roll-ups and roll-ups ending matches. Yep. That's what roll-ups are for. Yeah. For back and forth competition like that. And it went on probably an easy 15 near falls.
Yeah.
As a result. That's what they're for. I like that. 5. No rest periods in this match meant that MJF could score 2 straight after taking a loss of his own for the low blow.
Yep. Yep.
Brilliant.
Yep.
And I wondered, why have they specified before the match that there is no rest period? Because there's usually a rest period, and I've never agreed with it. It's not a 60-minute Ironman match if you take 30 seconds off after a pinfall, is it? It knocks it down to like a 57.5-minute Ironman match. So, no rest periods. Get on with it. I like that. What are we, 6?
Yep, 6.
Targeting. The direct shots to each other's weak points, Bryan's shoulder, MJF's leg, continued throughout the entire match.
Yeah.
To the point that MJF came out of the press conference with a crutch.
Yeah.
Excellent selling. Excellent ring psychology. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
7. MJF's elbow drop from the top turnbuckle to the table outside the ring.
Yeah.
Quickly followed by 8. Tombstone through the remains of the table.
Yeah.
And we know that I hate people using the tombstone pile driver, but I'll allow it because it was awesome.
Yes.
9. You listening, John Moxley? This one's for you. In a match of this length, blood is justified.
Yes.
But it took 40 minutes for the first blood of this match.
Yeah. Not 40 seconds.
Yes, not 4.0 seconds.
Not 0.004 seconds.
Indeed, yeah. And I'm accepting the gash on Bryan's arm. That doesn't count.
No.
It didn't gush or anything, and it wasn't deliberate.
No.
When the blood came, it was very obviously a slice job, and that's fine. In a match of this length, you probably should bleed if you've been hit in the head constantly for 40 minutes. Yeah. It seems reasonable. Yeah. Not from the first punch that somebody lands in a match, John Moxley. Yeah. Thank you. Now I have lost count. 10?
Number 10, yeah.
MJF wrestling for 45 minutes, taking the acclaim for that.
Yep.
And then immediately going back to playing the heel and being an arsehole.
Yes.
Classic MJF. Love that a lot. It was like, I'll take my adulation now. I've been wrestling for 45 minutes. I've given this guy who's arguably the best in the world as good as he's got. Yeah. Okay. Have I got that? Got my kudos? Okay, great. Now I'm going to go back to being a dick.
Yeah.
MJF through and through. Love it.
Yeah. I find myself liking MJF more and more and more.
Oh, I love MJF. Always have done. Like from the very first time that I saw him at All In, and he came out with a microphone and just trashed people. I'm like, hey, this guy's got it. I hope he can wrestle. And then he did in a battle royal. I'm like, okay, great. Let's strap a rocket to this guy. And it's just got better and better and better.
Yeah.
He hasn't stopped improving, even though he was already good.
Yeah.
Like, best heel in the business. Hands down. Including Roman Reigns right now. And I know how, white hot Roman Reigns is in terms of heel heat at the moment. But MJF, much better. Sorry.
Yeah.
11?
Yeah, 11 now.
See, I told you I can't count. The hidden shot from the oxygen tank.
Yeah.
Cheating without getting caught.
Yeah.
Using a weapon that I don't think I've ever seen be used before.
No.
Just happened to be about because of the nature of the finish of the match.
Yeah.
Loved everything about that.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan tapping to the label lock.
Yeah.
Very symbolic. Just the tap out alone, but the fact it was to his own move, to the label lock, which he inherited from Gene LaBelle, who he was very close to and has since passed. So much involved in that. Wonderful. And then 13?
13, yeah.
I can count. MJF's F-bomb laden press conference.
I've seen parts of it because it's all popped up all over the place.
Yeah,
it's quite funny.
I wouldn't recommend watching the whole thing, but I would recommend sitting and watching the entire first 10 minutes with MJF. It's incredible. Yeah, just F this, F that. He sat there eating pickles.
Yeah, I was about to say he sat eating pickles, didn't he?
Yeah, basically back-chatting all of the media and hoping that they ask him a good question. If they ask him a terrible question, he tells them it's a terrible question before answering it anyway. A masterclass. MJF was just incredible. And that's not to say that, Bryan Danielson was slouching. He was great as well, but he didn't come out the winner, so you're going to talk about the winner as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So 13 pros.
Now you got any cons?
I've got a couple. Have you got any pros to add before I move on?
You've basically said it all.
Did I tombstone pile drive all of your pros through a table? Is
you did.
Okay, right.
Mine is lying in shatters before me.
It's about to blade itself after 40 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Right. Cons.
Go.
The referee stopped the 10 count even though MJF was not up on his feet.
Yes.
He got to 9 and Bryan Danielson got up.
And
then he just stopped counting.
Yeah.
MJF was on his knees and it would have been a 10 count.
Yeah.
Bad officiating. Bad on MJF for not being up sooner, if that wasn't a planned thing. But just all in all, rubbish. Also on the refereeing front, when the low blow happened, the referee declared that point for MJF. He was like, 1-1, 1-1. I'm like,
no.
Sorry, are you giving MJF a fall for being disqualified? Is that what's happening here? And then that wasn't helped by the fact that the commentators didn't have a clue what was going on either.
No.
And I think it's because the referee confused them, and it was all a bit weird. So, didn't like that. The commentators misidentifying the STF as the label lock. I think what they were
I saw that.
I think what they were trying to do is call it the Regal Stretch, because it was Bryan paying tribute to somebody else whom he has a lot of respect for. So I get how they got there, but be better. And I kind of don't like, this isn't a full con, but it's a maybe not, that they restarted the match.
Yeah.
I don't like ties, but
no,
I liked this tie. And I think the heat that would have come from MJF not actually winning would have been a lot more worth it.
Yeah.
MJF's come out of this a little too well for a heel.
Yeah.
Whereas if when Tony Schiavone was coming down the ramp to try and stop it, MJF just walked off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have done the job.
Should have
just walked out. Like, I've done my 60 minutes. That's like 10 times more than I normally wrestle.
Yeah.
Middle finger to the sky. See you on Dynamite. Bye.
Yeah.
Would have been better, I think.
Yeah.
As much as it gave us, the oxygen tank shot and my last 3 pros.
Yeah.
But still would have been 10 without it, and this would have been in that list, so it would have balanced out.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Lovely.
Didn't overwhelmingly, destroy my enjoyment of this match. I thought it was a good match, especially, from the kind of second half onwards. It was good.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's right, then. I was getting the impression that you didn't quite enjoy it as much as I did, but...
Oh, I did. I was just letting you do it.
Fair enough.
Do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine to disagree. You are also entitled to your wrong opinion. It's all good. Everyone
Well, good thing is we mostly agree.
We do. And likewise, we did so in terms of the predictions here. Both expected MJF to win and pick up the final point of the day. Each brings me to a perfect score of 9, finishing the day perfect, and brings you to 8.
Yeah.
Less than perfect, but still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good, but it's not good enough, in the words of my long-lost uncle. What was his name? Roy Walker from Catchphrase. There you go. I don't know how to segue out of that, so I won't.
No. Okay.
We need to give this show a score. And so today, Dan, I ask you, and it'll probably take some explanation as to what the number is, but to give me a score out of 5 oxygen tanks, please.
So I quite enjoyed this pay-per-view. Number one, it wasn't the usual AEW pay-per-view that is 10 years long.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Well, put it this way, we wouldn't be, if it was the usual one, we wouldn't be reviewing it today, we'd be reviewing it next year.
Absolutely. Well, because I only finished it this morning, so if it was 7 hours long like it normally is, I would not have been done by now. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that kind of like gives me a bit more positivity towards it. And there was good matches on it. The MJF match, the trios match. I'd say the kickoff show match was all right. It was good, better than some of the matches on the actual main card. Yeah. So I'm actually going to be quite nice. I'm going to say 3.5.
Yeah, I think that kind of area is fair. There are a lot of people raving that this is the best event of the year so far, and maybe it's close. Maybe there is an argument to be made, but I don't think it is outright the best event of the year so far.
I don't think so.
I think that belongs to Wrestle Kingdom personally.
Yeah,
and
at the moment.
That was hella long. There was a lot of good in this event. There was also a lot of meh. I don't think I can be as generous as 3.5 really, because things like the death match just ruined it for me. The averageness of the Wardlow Joe match and the what was the other one? Oh yeah, the weird stipulation of the final burial. It was just I didn't really understand what was going on there. It didn't need to be that kind of match really. So I'm going to drop from your 3.5 and give it a straight 3.
Okay.
Which might be a little harsh, but
it's not that far off. So
it's still better than average. Yeah. Would watch it again, but I'd probably skip bits.
Yes.
And so, finally, last thing, with our score of 9 and 8, the year-to-date predictions are thus. Being that we were tied coming in, and I've improved this by 1, it won't shock you to know that I am on 59, and Dan is on 58.
Wow.
We're edging
Control yourself.
ever closer to hopefully an actual conclusion to the prediction competition for the the quarter.
Oh God, what if we get to WrestleMania and we tie again?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
I'll just cut the belt in half.
We'll just lay cool style it and just I don't know. Honestly, I can't tie again. So yeah, maybe bear that in mind when you're picking. Pick badly or something. I'm already winning now, so
you pick badly.
No, I've led this more than you this quarter.
I don't care.
So yeah. Maybe it should be the tiebreaker should be time in front leading the competition up to that point or something.
No, because that favours you.
I know. Yeah, well, it's the only arbitrary stat that works in my favour I can think of, Dan. I'm sure given some more time I can think of another one, but that's all I've got right now, okay? So, yeah. I don't know what's next.
I don't know.
Where are we? March. I think we've got a little break now. So I think we're gonna work in a retro main event podcast at some point.
Yeah.
And probably get a few weeks of rest in before WrestleMania, which is going to be a bit full on. I will say now, it goes without saying, we're not going to cover every event on WrestleMania weekend because there's a lot. I unfortunately don't think we're even going to be able to cover the Ring of Honor show because we've got that, the Ring of Honor show. There's the Joint Impact New Japan Multiverse event. Then you've obviously got NXT Stand and Deliver, 2 nights of WrestleMania. That's 5 in one weekend. And there's only one Tuesday following it. So we'll probably do the double again like we did and do one episode for night 1, one episode for night 2. But I think the rest of them, unless one of them is spectacular, I think they will just fall by the wayside. Or maybe we'll just do like all of the rest shows and just talk about the best matches. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see what scheduling is like at the time.
See what we feel like.
And yeah, unless there is a huge demand for one of the shows or t'other from the audience, then we'll probably just do WrestleMania, to be honest with you. And on that bombshell, I will begin to close us out. Thank you very much for joining us for this review of AEW Revolution 2023. We'll see you soon. Stay tuned for social media for what that actually looks like and what show we're doing next. I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
This is the Main Event Podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.